Okay, we are recording. Okay, guys, so welcome to the call. I'm really glad you guys got on here. I am Kendall Boyd. I'm a Senior Ruby Ambassador for any newbies who might be watching this. And I am just glad that you guys are here Sunday night. I look forward to these nights. I dread them because they're another thing on the calendar, but once I get on them, I'm like just super stoked and pumped and like really glad that we did it. So I know everybody always kind of feels the same emotions of should we get on, should I not, but you will never regret getting on these guys. So and I'm just thankful we have so many leaders in our company that are willing to give their time to us even though we are not their downline. We don't make them money, and they're still willing to come just kind of pour into us and share with us the things that they've done and their journey, because I mean this is a journey. We all have ups and downs and good times and bad times. And I know hearing from others who've been through it before us, like really kind of push you through that and encourage you. So without further ado, I want to welcome our guest, Stephanie Masat. And I had to ask her how to pronounce her last name because I am paranoid of saying people's names wrong. So I wanted to make sure I got it right. So if you could just share your story, just kind of like what brought you to Plexus, you know, kind of what the business looked like for you as you were growing, but then, you know, just what you feel like kind of helped get you there. And guys, if you have questions, remember the chat button at the bottom of the screen. That's where you can type a message and ask her or ask me or anybody in here. Hang on just a second. I realized I forgot to mute everybody. And hang on. Okay, now Stephanie, I will unmute you, girl. Okay, so you go ahead and take it away.
All right. Thank you so much, Kendall, and thank you so much for having me on y'all's team call. I'm so excited to kind of share a little bit about my journey and how I got started with Plexus and where I am now. So my name's Stephanie Masat, and I am a Sapphire Ambassador with Plexus. I joined Plexus in May of 2014. I just celebrated my 2-year anniversary a couple weeks ago with Plexus, and it's just crazy the journey that can happen for you. So I'm a registered nurse, and I originally joined Plexus. I actually had my kids back to back. My kids are 14 months apart. I now have a 2.5 and 3.5-year-old. And I originally joined just for the wholesale pricing. I just wanted the deepest discount on our products. And so I was super skeptical and didn't want to join the company because $140 was a lot of money to me. Yes, I only bought the $99 welcome pack. I wish I had bought the more expensive one, but that's something you learn as you go. So that's all we really could afford at the time. So I was super nervous, and it took me forever to even hit the button to join. And my husband was like, just do it. And so I just did it. And then I was like, oh my gosh, what did we just do? We just spent $140. I mean, that was a lot of money to us. So anyways, I joined, and I had no intentions on working the business. One of my really good friends, Kate Owen, she's an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus as well. She and I have been friends for a while, and our kids are about the same age. And we were in like a little mommy workout group together. And she had been talking to me about Plexus, and I just really was super skeptical. And being a nurse, we just research so many things. And if there's not studies on stuff, you know, we're just super skeptical about things. But I took the plunge, and I told her, I was like, don't tag me in anything on Facebook. I don't want anybody to know I'm even taking Plexus. So don't even make mention. If people ask you, you know, who's on your team, don't even tell people I'm on your team. I mean, it was that bad. Okay. So then one day at work, somebody had asked me, what are you doing differently? Like, and I hadn't lost any weight. But I guess they just could tell that I had more energy, and I just felt better. I did lose some inches pretty quickly. And so then I just naturally shared, because I am just a natural sharer, and I didn't even realize I was working the business, but I was. So then she's like, okay, well, I need some of that stuff. You know, I need to order it. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, you know, I can tell you my friend, you can call her up, because I didn't want to have to deal with any of that stuff. And then my friend was like, no, you have to just let her sign up under you. You know, you're already an ambassador. I'll show you how to do it. So I didn't even know my website or any of that stuff. So then she signed up underneath me as a customer, and my first paycheck was like $70-something. And that was just for my purchases and I had a couple customers. So I was like, maybe you can make money doing this. Cause I was like, there's no way you can make money doing this. And like, you know, you're just taking products and talking to people about it. I was like, there's just no way you can make money doing that. Well, to make a long story short, obviously I decided to go ahead and join the business and start working my business. And I actually made that decision probably like in July of 2014. And so I just was like, when I go all in on something, I'm like all in. So I was like, okay, I'm going all in with this. So I started watching all these training videos and just kind of learning how the compensation plan worked, how the products worked, that kind of thing. And so then I just really dedicated my time to make sure that I took the time to actually work the business and tell people about our amazing products. And so In December, I was a gold ambassador. So my first Super Saturday in 2015, I was a gold ambassador, and I was super excited. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, I made it to gold. This is like a really big miracle. I mean, that's a huge step. You know, I was making life-changing money. I mean, people don't think that that money would be life-changing, but it was life-changing for my family. So me and my husband's a firefighter paramedic. He works 24-hour shifts on, 48 off. So we pretty much worked opposite of each other. We became pretty much roommates because it was to the point where I was working 3 or 4 12-hour shifts a week. So I would come home, we would switch the babies off, he would go to work. So, you know, it really did start to put a damper on our relationship as well. So I had been praying and praying and praying for God to lay something on my heart that I could do to be able to stay home a little bit more and spend more time with my family. But when Plexus came, I totally did not think that this was the answer to it. I mean, I pretty much like laughed at God and was like, I know this is not what you were giving me, you know. It's crazy how it all like turns out. And like now that you're 2 years into it, you're like, oh my gosh, like his plans are always so much better. He knows so much more than we know for ourselves. So I was a gold ambassador at Super Saturday. Well, then in June of 2015, I hit Emerald, which for me was like a dream come true because I was like, oh my gosh, like the first time I saw a Plexus Lexus was at Super Saturday. I was like taking selfies with it. I was like, this thing's so cool. I had never even gotten in a Lexus before. So to just stand by one and realize that this is a free car that the company gives you, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really a dream come true. So then when I went to go get my Lexus, it was crazy because that was literally the first time I ever sat in a Lexus before on the inside. And now I get to drive a free one. So it's just pretty incredible, like what happens when you decide to commit yourself and go all in with your business. And, you know, you always have to remember with Plexus that why you're doing this. So I actually wanted to give you guys just a few little tips of kind of some things that I always went by whenever I started to work my business. And these are just a few things because I only had like 20 minutes. So I was like, okay, I don't want to be talking for forever. So I do have notes. So I might be like looking off like I'm looking at my notes. Okay. So the first thing that I really focused on when I decided, hey, I'm going to work this business and I'm going to go all in with it was to go silver every single month. So my goal every single month was to try to go silver and add 3 ambassadors every single month and then train them to do the same thing that I'm doing. So, you know, the power of duplication, I'm sure you guys have heard this a million times, but the power of duplication is super important in this business and the power of 3. So if you can just try to find 3 people that need this life-changing business and could really benefit from the financial side of our compensation plan, then you could totally grow this business. So what you do is you add those 3 ambassadors, and then after you add those 3 ambassadors, you train them to do the exact same thing that you do. And this is actually something that we just started implementing about 6 months ago, but it's the new ambassador welcome calls. We always had, you know, welcomed them on the page and sent them documents and that kind of thing. But now we actually make it a requirement to everybody that signs up on our team in order to like participate in contests and things like that. You have to do a new ambassador welcome call. And that just means like walking them through their back office, showing them how it works, showing them how to pull their customer reports up. How to pull their paychecks up, how to set up their website, what their website is, and then walking them through some Facebook groups and just kind of showing them, I'm sure you guys have a team page, walking them through the team page and the files tab and that kind of thing. So just kind of getting them started on the right track and kind of, you know, setting goals with them. So that was one of the first tips. The next tip that I had was to always go back to your why. So if you haven't written down or made a video about your why, I highly encourage and recommend you guys to do it as soon as possible. When I made my why video, which I was super vulnerable, even doing a Zoom call like this, it was super, super out of my comfort zone when I first started doing this. I mean, it was like, oh my gosh, do I really have to sit in front of a camera and talk to all these people? What am I going to say? I'm going to look like an idiot. I'm going to like have something on my face. So doing these was super out of my comfort zone. And when I first started to do these for my team, it made a huge difference and a huge impact on our team to help with growth. Because once you step out of your comfort zone, it brings you into so much more. But so if you haven't created a why video or made your why post on your Facebook page or shared it with your friends and family members, I highly encourage you to write it down and then share it with your friends and family members. And then if you ever have a down day in your business, which we all do, this business is a roller coaster. You have ups and you have downs. So you always have to remember that. And when you're having a down day, go back to your why and watch that video or read that post that you made about your why, and it's going to help fire you back up. And everybody's whys are different. You might not have a huge testimony yet as far as your business or the products go. So you just have to think, why did you join this company? Did you join because you just wanted to get the wholesale pricing? Did you join because you wanted to make extra $500 a month? Did you join just because you want to get healthy? Get with your upline and let your upline know what your goals are and what your why is, what you want to get out of the company and the business opportunity and the products. And your why will change. My why has changed so many times. Like when I first joined, you guys knew that I just joined for the wholesale pricing. I really did want to lose weight and have more energy because I had my kids back to back. So obviously I had some weight to lose. But obviously now my why's kind of evolved. So now I'm a healthier me. I've lost 25 pounds. I feel amazing. I have so much energy. I'm making a life-changing income. Me and my husband have been able to pay off all of our debt because of this huge blessing of Plexus. It's so amazing to be able to say that we're a debt-free family. We really go by Dave Ramsey's principles, and I never thought in a million years that at 32 years old, I'm not 32 yet, almost 32, that I would be debt-free and living just this life of freedom. I'm not working full-time anymore. I'm working 3 shifts a month, if that, and that's just because I still love my job, and I'm just not ready to give that up yet. So just figure out what your why is, you guys, and always refer back to it. And if it changes and evolves, create a new why and share that with your friends and family members. So always just make sure you go back to the why. The why is so important. And I'm a firm believer to make sure that you're constantly going back to your why and letting your why motivate you. Okay. So number 3 was income producing activity and your daily method of operation. I'm sure you guys have heard about IPA. But if you haven't, it's pretty much just talking about that you must work your business every day. I love the quote that says you can work your business sometimes, part-time, but you can't work it sometimes. Because you're more than welcome to work it when you can in the nooks and crannies of your day, but you can't work it on a Monday and then not come back to it till the next Monday. You do have to consistently work your business. And then I love the Perfect 10 by Sheila Medina. So you share the products with 3 people, the business opportunity with 3 people, make connections with 3 people on your team. If you don't have a team yet, then you start watching videos, watch 3 different videos on how to grow a team or about the compensation plan or the products. And then also attend an online event or a live event. So if you can and you are able to, definitely attend a live event. It's so amazing to be able to hear those testimonies and talk to other Plexus ambassadors and hear the things that they're going through, what has helped them grow their business, that kind of thing. But if you don't have anything locally, then just watch an online event. There's an online event, I would say, every week. So just get plugged in. We're one Plexus. Obviously, like Kendall said, I'm not on your team and she's not my downline or anything like that. So we all work together. So if, there's somebody that you can team up with and have a power partner, I highly encourage you to. I actually team my team members up with people that are on similar pages as they are. And I actually have a bunch of sideline sisters and we all get together and talk. And if we have people that were like, oh, she would totally mesh with her, then we kind of team them up together. It doesn't matter whose team you're on. If you have somebody that's personality that's going to meet with yours and you're at the same page in your business, it's super important to get that accountability partner. And then, as far as your goals are and what you want to obtain with the business, you would do that daily method of operation, either monthly, daily, or weekly. If you're like, I'm all in and I want to be a jewel with this company, then you really should be doing that every single day. If you're just kind of like, I really, I'm still working full time. I really, just want to, if I could just hit silver or if I could just work my business a little bit, then, monthly might be better for you. Whatever it looks like for you, just get with your upline and kind of discuss that so you guys can hold each other accountable and they can kind of help you grow your business the way that you want to grow your business. So then number 4, I have 5 total, so I only have 2 left. But number 4 was unshakable belief. So you must build belief in the products and the business opportunity. If you guys want to be successful with the company, you do have to learn about the products. You don't need to know every ingredient in the products, but you need to know what products are right for each person. I usually recommend the triplex combo for pretty much anybody because pretty much anybody can take the triplex combo. But I do always recommend, people talk to their doctors before starting products just to make sure they don't interact with anything that they're already doing. But in order to know that, you need to make sure that you're watching videos. I really highly encourage, I don't know, I'm sure you guys already know this as well, but I watch Jennifer Pickett. She has amazing product videos, and Ame Darling, she also has very great product videos. So watching those product videos and learning from these people that went to school and got degrees in nutrition and sports medicine and things like that, They're already educated on that from going to school, so they know a lot about the ingredients of the products. So, make sure you're taking that time. I mean, I can remember when I first started and I was like, I'm going all in. I would watch probably 3 to 5 product videos a day. And I probably have seen those videos over 50 times because I watch them every single day. Because the more you hear it, I'm more of like a auditory learner. I have to hear it. Some people are, if you read it. So it just depends on what works for you. But I still listen to about 3 videos a day. And I'll go on YouTube. I mean, the videos are free. So, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Go to YouTube and, search for ProBio 5 and Plexus, or, for a certain jewel with the company that has great videos, and just watch those videos. I mean, I watch them when I'm folding laundry, when I'm doing dishes, when I'm mowing the lawn. I mean, whatever you're doing, put those headphones in and listen to that. So that's how you're going to build that unshakable belief, is by, listening to those product videos, listening to those diamond documentaries, and all the diamond documentaries are on the Plexus Worldwide YouTube channel as well. Listening to testimonies or reading testimonies. I'm sure y'all also know this, but you can also go into Facebook and you can search on the Facebook tool, and you can just say you were looking for something with diabetes and Plexus. You could search diabetes and Plexus, and anything that was posted will come up. We have a big team page that we put a lot of testimonies in that we use to search for those. Obviously, with compliance, you do have to be very careful about posting on Facebook, but there are some testimonies out there that you can definitely read that can help you build your belief, and that you can share with people in a private message. So, if you have a certain disorder or something that you have going on with yourself, try to see if there's any videos out there that can inspire you. If you're not having success with the products, get with your upline or a sideline and see what you can do to try to have success with the products. Because in order to be successful, I strongly believe you have to be a product of the products. Because if you're not feeling the results from the products yet, or you're not having good success, people probably can see and feel that. But when you're passionate about something, your passion will just kind of shine through, and people will feel your passion whenever you're talking to them. So that's super, super important to be successful as well. So the last thing I just want to tell y'all is don't give up, okay? So if it took you, I love to tell my team this, and I say this probably to them every week. So if it took you 5 years to hit jewel status with Plexus, would you still say it would be worth it? For me, if it took me 10 years, honestly, to be an emerald with Plexus, it would still be worth it to me. Being a jewel with this company, they treat us so well, you guys. I mean, to make this much money is absolutely phenomenal, because all you're doing is you're sharing what you love. I mean, you're sharing what you're passionate about. These products are changing people's lives. These business opportunities are changing people's lives. We would be selfish not to share this with people. So for me, I would share the products and the business opportunity even if I didn't get paid. I mean, I tell people every single day about restaurants and makeup and other stuff because I love it. Or if I get a really good deal on something, I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, you have to go here. I just got the best deal at Marshall's on this dress or whatever. Because, I want people to get a good deal on stuff, and I like seeing people get excited about things. So, Marshall's isn't paying me to do that, or, Outback Steakhouse isn't paying me to go tell them, oh my gosh, they have amazing service and great food. So, just always remember that if it took you guys 5 years or 10 years to be in, jewel status with the company, would it still be worth it to y'all? Because, people want to give up sometimes, and this business is hard. It's definitely not an easy thing. But it is very enjoyable, and it's very rewarding. As being a nurse, I feel like I have helped impact more lives with this business opportunity than I ever have with being a nurse. So I actually get to see my friends and family members' lives being transformed and coming off medications and feeling better than they ever have before. So just always keep those things in mind. I know you guys can do it. It's totally obtainable. You just have to set your goals and get with your upline. And I know you guys could be super, super successful with this company.
Well, thank you, girl. I do have a question, though. So
Sure.
you have a few more minutes. So you obviously had fast growth. I mean, if you're at your 2-year anniversary, you're a Sapphire. So realistically, what did that look like in the growing process? So say before Emerald. And I know even to go Sapphire, you have to double your team from Emerald. So even that is a giant thing. But, when you decided you were all in, what does your day-to-day look like? Because I know, I even talked last week on our call, I think we feel like the people who do it super fast got lucky or had the right personality, and that's not it. I know it's a lot of work. There's so much that goes into it. So can you share just a little bit of what that actually looked like for you to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so as y'all know, I said I was working full time. So I was working 4 12-hour shifts a week usually because I had to work overtime in order for us to be able to afford what we had. So I would wake up. This is crazy, but I would wake up 30 minutes before my kids would wake up in the morning. And sometimes they would get up, but I would try to ignore them until they were really crying. So, and I would work my business. I would start doing my income producing activity. And I would be, if you guys haven't made that list of 100, that's one of the most important things to do when you first join. So make that list of 100 people, circle those 25 people that you think would be rock stars. And, this is relational marketing. So make sure you're growing those relationships with people. If you haven't started growing strong relationships with people, don't just reach out to them and say, hey girl, I just joined this Plexus business. You would be amazing. You need to join my team. If you haven't talked to them, if it's somebody that you're super close with, okay, that might how that conversation might go. But if it's somebody that you're not super close with, you want to start a genuine conversation with them. Hey girl, I saw that picture that you just posted of you and your daughter. You guys have a beautiful family. I hope everything's going well with you guys. I would love to hear how everything is. And always lead with a question of asking them something like, so where do you guys live now? Or whatever, so that it prompts a response so that they have to respond to you. And then you're going to start that conversation. And they're going to say, well, what have you been up to? Oh, well, actually, me and my husband, we moved here. We have, 2 kids now, blah, blah, blah. And I started my new business. I'm just super excited about it. God has really blessed us with these amazing products, or, just something. You don't have to just go straight at them, and just hunting for them and being like, because then they're going to be like, okay, she's just trying to sell me something. So just always remember to speak from your heart and really try to grow those relationships. And it doesn't feel like you're having success at first, because that's how, obviously I didn't really work my business from the beginning, but I've always tried to, I've always been a very good at building relationships with people. That's something that's super important to me. So if you haven't started building relationships with people, start building those relationships, and don't just talk to them just about Plexus. They probably know you do Plexus because they probably see your Facebook post. So you don't have to tell them that. Just reach out to them genuinely and start talking to them. And Plexus usually will come up, and then they'll start to get a little bit more curious. So definitely building the relationships is one of the most important things. The second most important thing is make sure you're posting every single day, at least one. I always tell my team at least one Plexus post and at least one personal post a day. People don't want to see you just posting about Plexus, because they'll be like, okay, I'm unfollow or unfriend. Okay. So you want to make sure you keep it personal. How can I say this in a way that is, will make more sense? I do post testimonies, but that is very rare. If you go to my Facebook page, you won't see very many testimonies on my page. I post a lot of personal stuff. So I'll post, I take selfies all the time with my pink drink. If any of you are friends with me, I love to work out. That's something I've always really enjoyed. So I constantly take a picture of like how many calories I burned or what I did for that day. I'll take pictures of my kids like holding their vitamins or them trying to steal my pink drink from me. Or I'll hashtag stuff like without even saying Plexus. I'll say all the activities that I did throughout the day, and then hashtag Plexus Energy or something like that. So keeping your post personal is super important, and not hitting the share button, because that seems so generic and people can tell that you're just trying to sell them something. So make sure you're posting like personal Plexus posts. So even if you just say, oh my gosh, I just tried on a pair of shorts. They were a size 6. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I haven't worn a size 6 since I was in high school. Or whatever. I mean, it can be something so small, or, you try a t-shirt on and it's a medium. Oh my gosh, I'm wearing a medium shirt. I mean, people want to see, and they're like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. Those are the most comments and likes and things that people actually send me messages about. So really, really posting smart on Facebook. That's if you're a social media person. I've grown my business on social media. I mean, obviously I talk about Plexus all the time now, but like when I first started, I definitely grew it on social media. So what I always tell my team to do is go to your profile, or have your upline go to your profile and scroll through your profile pictures. I mean, your all your posts, and they'll be able to tell you, okay, girl, this looks like a salesy page, not like a personal Facebook page. And just remember that people are doing that because they care about you and they want you to be successful with your business. Because some people do get offended that you say that, but it's like, I'm just trying to help you. So if you really want to grow, that's something I would definitely recommend for you to do, is reach out to your upline and say, hey girl, will you help me? Go look at my Facebook account and see if you think I'm posting, how I should be posting. Because you really want to make sure you're reaching out to your market that's watching you on Facebook. Okay, so the reaching out to people, posting on Facebook, and then follow up obviously is super important. As I'm sure you guys know, it takes 7 to 12 touches for people to really say yes. And I always tell people, think about yourself. How many times did somebody talk to you about Plexus, or whoever it did that signed you up? Some people are more just will jump the gun kind of people. I'm not one of those people. So I think I had been talked to about Plexus at least 10 different times from multiple different people that, I worked with and that I saw with on a daily basis. So just always remember that just because people say no doesn't mean that they don't want the products, they don't want the business opportunity. Most of the time, it means that they don't know. They don't know what the products are about. They don't know what the business opportunity is. So it's easier for them just to say no. So the more that you're just planting those seeds, and if they do say, hey, no, right now that's not really right for me, say, okay, yeah, no worries. Don't feel pressured. If you have any referrals for me or anybody that you think would benefit from more energy, from weight loss, from just feeling better overall, please send them my way. Because then they're like, oh, because then you're showing them, hey, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I really do want to help people change their lives. So those would be probably the most important thing, just your daily method of operation. So whatever it might look like for you, mine was waking up 30 minutes before my kids. And then, when they're taking naps, I would work for those 2 hours. And then when they would go to sleep, I would work for 30 more minutes. So you just have to really plan out your day and not just say, okay, we'll see what happens tomorrow. You have to get a planner. And I got one of those planners that has hourly things on it. And you have to say, okay, at 7 o'clock tomorrow, I'm doing this, and you can write down specifically what you want to do. I'm reaching out to 3 new people, and you write their names down. If you set your plan out for the week, I always set mine out on Sundays, and I would just write down exactly what I'm going to do each day. Obviously it looks totally different now than it did, a year and a half ago, but you do have to and if you want to get with your upline to help you, what it's going to look like for your day, I'm sure they would be more than happy to help you strategize on what your day is going to look like. But you really do have to set that plan and do that every single day, because if you don't, then you're going to be like, 3 days will pass and you'll be like, oh crap, I haven't done anything today that is going to help me grow my business. Because you're not going to just sit back and post on Facebook and be like, okay, all right, where is everybody? All right, nobody's reaching out to me today. All right, that's not how it's going to happen. I can promise you that. And even like my rock star, so I have a level 1 that just hit Emerald. She's actually my sister-in-law, and she told me no for a while. And I knew my brother was super skeptical, and I knew never thought in a million years he would say yes. But you know what? I kept trying. And I kept telling her about Plexus, and I told her about Plexus, and I told her about Plexus, and she finally joined me, and she was one of my big rock stars, and she went really fast. I think she ranked up every single month. So, you just never know. And don't ever say, okay, so I don't really know that many people, or I don't have a huge network. You don't know who Susie knows. You don't know who, the next person knows, because it's really not about who you know. It's about who they know. So if you add those 3 and then you train those 3 to do that, your business is just going to boom. So just, try to, set your goals every single month, weekly, monthly, and daily goals. That's what I usually tell people. And it really helps as long as you have all that set out. I know I probably just went off on a tangent, but I hope that helps.
No, that's okay. Okay. So that's obviously your big focus is the daily mode of operation. Do you feel like, I won't hopefully not keep you too long. You're like one main thing that you feel like you pass down to your team to get them motivated in this? And because obviously duplication worked really well for you. Is it just establishing that daily mode of operation, or how did you get them going from the beginning? Because I know a lot of people struggle with getting their team going in this.
So I just had constant contact with the people that I would sign up underneath me. And I would ask them, what are your goals? What do you want to get out of Plexus? And if they told me, really, I just want to get my products paid for, I would say, okay, that's totally fine. But I do want to educate you a little bit about, our team pages. I'm going to add you to the team pages and a little bit about the products and that kind of thing. And I would just slowly send them stuff. If they were like, oh my gosh, I want to be Emerald in a year, I'd be like, all right, let's go for it, girl. And we would sit down and we would go through, what's tomorrow going to look like? What's the next day going to look like? Who are your top 25 people? And I would make them be really vulnerable with me and say, all right, so these are your top 25. So how are you going to reach out to them? What are you going to say? Because it's different when you say you're going to do something versus actually doing it. So if you have a plan with somebody and you speak it or you write it down, then you're probably most likely going to do it. Whereas if you just say, oh yeah, I'll do that tomorrow, you probably won't, because you don't have a set concrete plan out. So what I usually tell people is, make that list of 100 and you circle those top 25 people. And then as those people join your team, you can cross them off and make sure you're training them to do the same thing. Because if you add people, that's great. But if you're adding them and you're just letting them hang out over here and you're not telling them anything of what to do or how to get started, they're just going to sit there and they probably won't do much unless they're go-getters and they're just like, okay, I'm going to go and research all that I can and find all these videos that I can. But it's our job. Just like if you got hired, say, you went and applied for a job at McDonald's and you got hired and they just threw you in there, you'd be like, oh gosh, what am I supposed to do? I don't even know how to like cook a hamburger or like make French fries. Like, what am I supposed to do? But if somebody shows you what to do, then you're like, oh, okay, I can do that. So if you tell people what to do, then they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I can do that. Or it's like, okay, I know that you know 3 people that could benefit from these products and this business opportunity. So who are those top 3 people that you're closest with that you want to get on this journey with you? And they would tell me, and I'm like, okay, so we're going to reach out to them. And usually for close friends and family members, I tell them, I'm like, you just be real with them and be you and call them. Don't send them a message. You just say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Guess what I just did? And most of the time people are going to be like super skeptical. Oh gosh, what did you get yourself into? And sometimes family members are the hardest people to get on your side. But if you educate them on exactly what you're doing, then a lot of family members will at least try. I mean, my mom was like my first customer. So I was like, Mom, I just joined this company. Like, I really want you to try these products. Yeah. And most people, that's what they'll say. My first customer was my mama, or my first ambassador was my mama, So, just really making sure that you add to that list every day. So we should be, every day that you're out in the community doing anything, or in your front yard or wherever you are, you should be making new connections with people and building those relationships. So when you're talking to people, don't just vomit Plexus all over them. Have a genuine relationship with them. Show them that you care about them. Learn more about, do they have kids? Do they have a husband? What's their life look like? And then get their information and say, I would love to, hang out sometime. And then you get their contact information. You send them a message. Hey, Susie, what are you up to today? Oh, you want to go to the pool, or you want to go, to the park with the kids or whatever. And then you're building that relationship. So always remember that everybody that you meet, build those relationships constantly on a daily basis. Just make sure you're talking to people all the time. I mean, because that's honestly, if I can tell you anything, like, it's that building those relationships will really help you grow your business, because people are going to see your passion once you've built that relationship with them. If you're just telling them just about Plexus, they're like, oh, here she goes. She's just trying to sell me something. And then they're going to avoid you. So when they see you out in your front yard, they're going to be like, oh gosh, she's out there. Go inside, I mean, I know it sounds bad, but it's true. I mean, think about when people do it to you. If people are trying to sell you something, you're like, oh crap, she's out in her front yard. Let's go inside. Hurry. She's going to try to come over and sell us some stuff. So just build those relationships. I mean, if there's anything else that I can tell y'all, I just really, really encourage you to build relationships. And the people that you already have relationships with, yes, absolutely talk to them about Plexus, especially if you talk to them on a daily basis. And tell them, I always say, if you've just joined, tell people before you even make your first Facebook post, hey, I just wanted to tell you I joined this amazing company. I'm super excited. You're probably going to see me posting about it because I'm just super passionate about it. And I'm so excited to see what these products are going to do for me and my family. And, so that you at least tell them, you're not trying to sell them anything, but you told them that what you're doing. And then they might ask you more questions. Yeah. So that's really what I would say is the most important thing, honestly. And then the going silver every month. That's something that I live by. And if I didn't go silver, I was a little bit hard on myself. I probably shouldn't have been, but that was my goal. I was like, if I can go silver every month and then train those people to go silver every month, then, this business really will grow. So, and that's something I still struggle with, trying to add 3 people every month. It gets tougher and tougher. So that's your goal, to go meet new people. I'm like, oh, I got to go meet some new people today. Got to grow my business. Yeah. So, and you just never know who's watching you. I mean, I've been doing this for 2 years, and I have people that have watched me from day one, never liked or commented on any of my posts, or even responded to my private messages that I sent them to plant those seeds. And now they're, on my team, or they're one of my customers or whatever. So you just never know who's watching you. So if you're posting one day and then you don't post again for a week or 2, people are like, oh, whatever, that's just another fad, that's going to go away. So you have to be consistent with whatever you do.
Well, and I think being passionate and unapologetic as well. I think so many times we're tempted to kind of hesitate when we're sharing, and, if you're not interested, no big deal. But when you plant that in their mind, then now it's there when it might not have been there before. And so I can tell you're very excited and unapologetic about your Plexus. So,
well, and be bold too. I mean, when you're reaching out to people, don't be sorry. There's no reason to be sorry to share these products and this business opportunity with people. I don't apologize to anybody. If you're not interested, I'm sorry. I don't want to bug you. Oh, no. We should never apologize to people. If we should feel sorry for ourselves if they don't want to join us, because, they're missing out. So, never be apologetic, and have that elevator speech ready. I mean, when they call it an elevator speech, but it can happen anywhere, obviously. But have that 30-second of what you're going to say when somebody says, oh, well, what do you do? Have that ready, what you're going to say to people, because that's super important too. If you don't sound super bold and passionate about what you're doing, people are going to be like, oh, okay, let's move on, And if you're giving people business cards, like say you just shared your, passion, your 30-second elevator speech, and that person has to leave, just instead of just giving them a business card, just say, hey, can I get your contact information? I'd love to just send you some more information. So then when they send, because if you just give them a business card, most people just toss those in the trash. So you have to get that information from them as well.
Okay, so not to put you on the spot, but do you have your 30-second elevator speech?
Oh yeah, of course I do.
Yes, you do. Okay.
So and it kind of depends on, I think sometimes it kind of depends on who I'm talking to, or like if it's a male or if it's a female, because you just kind of have to feel out those people. But what I normally say is, I work for this amazing plant-based health and wellness company. We have life-changing products and we have a life-changing compensation plan. And I have benefited so much from these products. I've lost over 25 pounds. I've never felt better or had more energy. I'd love to tell you more about our amazing products. So that's usually what I say to people for the most part. It kind of just depends on how kind of the conversation is going with that person. If I've already started a conversation, like it kind of can change sometimes. But as long as you have like a passionate, like, I love this, company. And that's all you really need to get across. It can be 10 seconds. I love this company. I'm so blessed to be. And I think Ame Darling is the one that says, what does she say? Crap. Can't remember right now. She has an awesome, Google, go on YouTube and do Ame Darling 30-second elevator speech. She says something so awesome. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's great. So you just kind of have to figure out what works for you. Like what she said, I could not say that because that's not my personality. So figure out like what works for you. You have to really figure out what works for you and what you're going to sound passionate being. And I know this sounds crazy, but like I would record videos of myself all the time saying that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no, that didn't sound very good. Or, I'd write it down or whatever, because it's like, the more you say it and the more you write it down, the easier it gets to talk to people about. So, always have that ready and just, feel bold about it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, girl. You have so much wisdom. You're so good at these. I know you said you were hesitant, but I don't ever believe you were hesitant doing these.
Oh, yes, absolutely I was. So thank you guys so much for having me. I'm super excited to see y'all's growth and cheering Kendall on as she's trying to rank up to a jewel with the company as well. Y'all have an amazing leader, and I am so excited to see the growth for you guys. If y'all have any questions or you need anything else from me, I'm here.
Thank you. Let me stop the recording.